Hey guys, today I just want to talk about some deadlift cues that I see all the time being messed up by beginner and intermediate lifters. To me, this is something that can be fixed pretty easily, and pretty much as soon as you do, you can expect a pretty considerable jump in your deadlift. I should probably also note that all these cues are in regards to form, and if you guys are looking for some magic formula to increase your deadlift, sorry I don't have that answer. Just more weight and volume. The first thing is going to be just about bar and foot position. Generally, a lot of the issue that I see with people is that they tend to have the bar a little too far out in front of them. The problem here is that the bar is just too far away from your center of gravity, so as soon as you lift it off the ground, your hips are just going to shoot up and you're just going to be using pretty much all back and no leg drive. If you have a strong back, that's great, but the more muscular groups you can get involved in the movement, the better off your lift's going to be. I don't like to use the word perfect because there really is no perfect way to position your feet here, but those with longer femurs, for example, are going to have the bar a little bit further out in front of them than people with shorter femurs. But general rule of thumb is you want to try to get the bar as close to your center of gravity as possible. Here you can see me having it pretty close to my center of gravity, and this is allowing me to get pretty much as much leg drive as possible. The next cue I want to talk about, and probably the most important cue, is tightness. It's really important to be able to pull the slack out of the bar before you stop. Here you see me getting a nice tug on it before you start. Generally, this is where you see the majority of lower back and bicep injuries occurring because people have absolutely no tension in their body, and they could rupture a bicep or herniate a disc fairly easily in a position like this. Now, aside from the obvious injury repercussions that could happen from doing something like this from a performance perspective, because you're not tight at all from the start, again, your hips are probably going to automatically shoot up, just like with the other problem, is automatically utilizing your lower back. It's not necessarily that your legs are necessarily weaker or anything like that. It's just it automatically gets you in a bad position, and because of that, you could be pulling maybe 50 to 70 pounds less than you probably could otherwise. The final deadlift cue that I want to go over is a mistake made by almost everybody I see starting off deadlifting. For some reason, they tell you to look at the top of the ceiling. As you can see here, I'm doing it just as a bad example, but the idea when you're deadlifting is you want to keep as neutral of a spine as possible, and this is not maintaining it whatsoever. The trick normally is to look at the bottom corner of the room in front of you, and that's going to probably be your most neutral position. Granted, it's a little bit different for everybody, but it's certainly not looking up. Honestly, it's probably just going to make the lift harder for you in the long run. I hope you guys found these cues helpful. Here's just my final set from that day. And if you guys haven't, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks, guys.
Now let me see your war face. Ah! Bullshit! You didn't convince me. Let me see your real war face. Ah!